Episode 3, Joseph and Romaine, hiking in the Gorges du Régalon. That morning, Joseph and Romaine jumped out of bed excitedly. Today, they were hiking in the Gorges du Régalon, a spectacular place where water and time had carved a deep canyon. The sky was a pristine blue and the air smelled of lavender and rosemary. Mom and Dad had packed a picnic with everything they loved: crusty bread, goat cheese, juicy fruit, and a large bottle of fresh water. They packed their backpacks and set off for Cheval-Blanc. When they reached the starting point, they settled down under a large oak tree to enjoy their meal before the hike. Romane enjoyed the cherries while Joseph drew the mountain in his notebook. Finally, they began the hike. The path first took them through a forest of holm oaks and fragrant bushes. Little by little, the rock walls got closer, forming a very narrow passage. Romaine clung to Dad's hand, fascinated by the high cliffs. "Look, it looks like the sky has been cut into slices," Joseph exclaimed, looking up. "It's impressive," Mom added. "These gorges were formed by water that has carved out the rock for thousands of years." Suddenly, a cry echoed above them. A majestic bird was soaring in the sky. "It's a kestrel," Dad announced. "It hunts small rodents in the rocks." Romaine's eyes widened. "It's beautiful. I'd like to fly like it." Joseph, meanwhile, was carefully observing the walls of the canyon. "Look at these holes in the rock, they look like houses for small animals." They moved forward cautiously, climbing over a few boulders. Romaine laughed as she imitated the goats jumping from stone to stone. Joseph, more focused, tried to spot fossils in the rock. Mum explained to them that these rocks were full of history and that there might be traces of animals that were several million years old. Joseph was excited at the idea of finding a rare fossil and began to search more ardently. After a good hour of walking, they reached a clearing where a spring flowed gently. Dad invited everyone to take a break. They dipped their hands in the cool water and listened to the soothing murmur of nature. Joseph and Romaine had fun floating small pieces of wood in the water, imagining them as boats sailing towards adventure. A little further along the path, they discovered a small cabin built with tree branches and stones. "Look! A secret hiding place!" Joseph exclaimed. Curious, they settled in to have their snack. Mom took out some cookies and apples while Dad told them a story about the old shepherds who crossed the region with their flocks. Romaine bit into her apple as she watched the wind make the leaves dance around them. "It's like an adventurous house," she marveled. They stayed for a while to enjoy the peace and quiet, lulled by the birdsong. During this time, Dad explained to Joseph how to read a hiking map and recognize the different markers on the trails. Fascinated, the little boy observed the lines and symbols carefully. On the way back, the sun was slowly going down, casting golden shadows on the walls of the gorges. They came across a group of other hikers, including an old man who told them stories about the local wildlife and ancient legends of the Lubron. Tired but happy, Romaine clung to her mother's back. "It was the best walk of my life," she said, yawning. Joseph agreed. "I loved playing explorers. Can we come back?" Dad smiled. "Of course. Nature still has many secrets to reveal to you." On the way back in the car, Romaine fell asleep quickly, her head resting against her brother. Joseph was still looking at the landscape through the window, thinking back to this incredible day. Happy and tired, they returned home, their heads full of memories and their shoes full of dust. A beautiful adventure that would remain engraved in their hearts.